We all feel it sometimes, the pressures of life, the weight of the world on our shoulders. It can be overwhelming, making us feel like we can't move forward. Yes, even bees feel stressed. These tiny creatures, often seen as symbols of hard work and harmony, are not immune to the strains of their environment. These tiny creatures, so vital to our planet, are facing a growing list of pressures. From habitat loss to climate change, their challenges are mounting. These pressures are impacting their health and well-being. Diseases, parasites, and pesticides are just a few of the threats they face daily. And, surprisingly, it's even affecting their buzz. This iconic sound, which we often associate with their presence, is being disrupted. Bees are known for their industrious nature and their iconic buzzing sound. This buzz is a sign of their activity and health. This buzz is not just a random sound. It's a vital part of their communication and work. It plays a crucial role in the process of pollination, which is essential for the survival of countless plant species, including many of the foods we eat. Without it, our ecosystems would suffer greatly. But what happens when these buzzing pollinators are stressed? Their behavior changes and their efficiency drops. What happens when their environment becomes a source of anxiety rather than a haven? Pollution, pesticides, and habitat destruction are turning their world upside down. The answer is a silent crisis that could have far-reaching consequences for our planet. If bees continue to decline, the ripple effects will be felt across the globe, affecting food production and biodiversity. Bees are fascinating creatures, playing a crucial role in our ecosystem. Their buzz, that familiar sound we hear in our gardens and parks, is produced by their wings, which are marvels of natural engineering. These wings beat incredibly fast, up to 230 beats per second, creating a blur of motion that is almost invisible to the naked eye. This rapid movement creates vibrations in the air, which we hear as the characteristic buzzing sound, a sound that signifies the presence of these industrious insects. But the buzz is not just about making noise, it serves a greater purpose. It's an essential part of the bee's job, pollination, a process vital for the reproduction of many plants. As bees fly from flower to flower, collecting nectar and pollen, their buzzing helps to dislodge pollen from the anthers of flowers, ensuring that pollen is spread effectively. This pollen then sticks to the bee's hairy body, which is perfectly adapted for carrying these tiny grains. As the bee moves to another flower, some of this pollen falls off, fertilizing the flower and enabling it to produce seeds and fruit, thus continuing the cycle of life. Without this vital service, our world would be a very different place, lacking the diversity of plants and foods we often take for granted. Many plants rely on pollinators like bees to reproduce, making them indispensable to our environment. Without them, our food supply would be severely impacted, leading to shortages and higher prices. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, and even coffee would become scarce and expensive luxuries, highlighting the importance of protecting these incredible insects. Sadly, bees are facing a growing number of threats. These threats are causing them stress and impacting their ability to pollinate effectively. Pesticides, habitat loss, climate change, and competition from invasive species are all taking their toll on bee populations around the world. Stress manifests itself in bees in various ways. Stressed bees may be more susceptible to diseases and parasites. They may also have difficulty navigating and finding their way back to their hives. This disorientation can be detrimental to the colony's survival. Moreover, stress can impact a bee's ability to pollinate effectively. Section 4. Pesticides, the silent killer. Pesticides designed to protect crops from pests are often harmful to bees. These chemicals can poison bees, weaken their immune systems, and impair their navigation abilities. Imagine a bee trying to fly back to its hive after foraging for pollen in a field treated with pesticides. The chemicals could disorient the bee, making it difficult to find its way home. The bee might become lost and disoriented, unable to contribute to the hive's survival. Over time, the cumulative effects of pesticide exposure can devastate entire bee colonies. Section 5. Habitat loss. Where do bees go? Bees need a diverse and healthy environment to thrive. They need access to a variety of flowering plants for food, as well as safe places to build their hives. However, human activity is destroying bee habitats at an alarming rate. Forests are being cleared for agriculture, meadows are being paved over for roads and buildings, and the use of herbicides is wiping out wildflowers that bees rely on for food. This loss of habitat leaves bees with fewer places to find food and shelter, putting a strain on their populations. Section 6. Climate change, a storm for bees. Climate change is another significant threat to bees. Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns can disrupt the delicate balance of ecosystems that bees rely on. For example, if flowers bloom earlier or later than usual due to temperature changes, bees might miss the window of opportunity to collect pollen and nectar. This can lead to food shortages for the bees and impact their ability to reproduce. Section 7. Helping bees find their voice. The decline of bee populations is a serious concern that affects our entire ecosystem, but there are things we can do to help, and it starts with small, everyday actions. We can all play a role in creating a more bee-friendly world by making conscious choices. Planting bee-friendly flowers in our gardens and yards can provide bees with valuable sources of food, ensuring they have the nutrition they need. Avoiding the use of pesticides in our gardens is crucial to protect bees from these harmful chemicals that can devastate their populations. Supporting local beekeepers by buying locally produced honey is another way to help, as it encourages sustainable beekeeping practices. By understanding the challenges facing bees and taking action to help them, we can ensure that these vital pollinators continue to buzz for generations to come, maintaining the balance of our natural world.